Well, hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I've got another blast from the past video today, and it's going to be a real good one. It's on the vintage Sears model 64-67 Walkie Talkies. So stick around, we'll be right back. Well, as I've said, we'll be talking about the Sears model 64-67 vintage Walkie Talkie. This particular walkie-talkie was probably vintage about the early 70s. I'm not exactly sure if this was late 60s or early 70s. I was not able to ascertain completely, but I think that it probably, from its appearance, was late 60s to early 70s. It's model 64-67. And it has a chassis number of 787.10060. Channel A is channel 5, and channel B is not indicated, so it may not have a channel B. It is made in Japan, and it also is indicated as Sears Roebuck and Company. Now, Sears dropped Roebuck in the early 70s, I believe, so that gives me an indication, a little bit of an indication of its age. And it also being manufactured in Japan gives you another indication, because later on items were made in Taiwan, and also now of course everything's made in China. So we know this is a pretty old radio because it was made in Japan. Now, there's a couple of features on this radio I'd like to point out. It's got a little battery indication meter here up here on the top. It was a very cool thing to have for kids. They love to see that. It's also a great tool to see how long it was going to be before they had to change the battery. Of course, they had this little inline coil that I guess helped with the reception, and it of course probably shortened the antenna because it's a coil, but of course it just looked cool. Kids really didn't know what it was for, they just knew it looked cool. That's the way I was. This particular radio has a little tag, hang tag, that informs you that you need to pull the antenna all the way up before you transmit, otherwise you probably damage the output transistor. Let's see. It's of course got a black metal case, as you can see, and it has that chrome, which was always very attractive to young folks. It's got a little loop up here that you can hook up the, I guess, your wrist strap, connect it to it. On this side, you've got your volume control. You've got a squelch control, which not all walkie-talkies had squelch, and that was a very good thing to have, especially if you didn't want to hear all that noise. And then you've got a call alert, which when you put it in the on position, it will transmit a tone to the receiving walkie-talkie to get their attention. And let's see what we got on this side. We've got the push to talk. Then we've got channel selector from A to B. We've got an earphone connection and an AC adapter port. And of course, this is a 100 milliwatt walkie-talkie. So you're talking about a quarter-mile range, maybe something like that. If you climb up on a hill, you might get a half-mile apart and talk. And here's your little trap door for the 9-volt battery that goes in here. So anyway, that's a little bit as far as a tour of the physical We have a lot of little pictures and little pictograms on these boxes that tend to indicate, you know, what they were selling at the time. And this one I see has a reel-to-reel recorder, and it's got a regular TV set and a horn. So it looks like this could be a little bit older. Not really sure by looking at the box how old it is, but with the type of items that they're listing, I don't see any cell phones or anything else up here. So it could mean that this is it's, you know, it could be kind of older. But anyway, it is the model number 57-6467 in the black and silver. That would have been the catalog number for Sears. So, and it was made in Japan. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and set this up for a real quick test as far as audio so you can hear it, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. I've set the receive radio up with the volume at a fairly decent level, and I'm going to step around the corner here and try to transmit and not get any feedback. And I've got the microphone set up real close by. One thing you'll note that I've been careful, and that is to extend the antenna on the transmit radio all the way. So I don't want to damage the transmit transistor in any way, shape, and form. So I'll go ahead and do a quick test, and I'll be right back. So just see if you can hear it. Hello YouTube, testing 1, 2, 3. Hello YouTube. I hope you can hear me. This is the vintage Sears 6467 Walkie Talkie from the early 70s to the late 60s. Over and out. Okay guys, I hope you heard that. Let me get the microphone back up here close by. And another test of another great little vintage walkie-talkie. I hope you heard that. These are super. Sears made some really great items. You go into the stores back then, this would have caught your eye. You pick out the catalog and start looking through it. This would have caught your eye. So I think it was one of those radios that little kids, they really wanted. Just, you know, from my perspective, this would have caught my eye. But anyway, folks, that about wraps it up for another blast from the past. I appreciate you stopping by. I've got some more walkie-talkies that I'm going to be highlighting here pretty soon. So drop back by soon to see what I'm up to. And I appreciate your support. And as always, take care.